Hello and welcome to another series of Total War Warhammer 2. I put out a poll in my YouTube community page asking who should I play next. The majority have spoken. We are playing Gor-Rok, the Great White Lizard. So we're going to pop into a new campaign. We're going to do it on mortal empires because I want to take over the entirety of the world. And we'll go over to Gor-Rok, the Lizardmen. Excellent. So, we're going to be starting in the bottom left of the map, down here in Lustria, and we are going to take our dinos and just rule the world, most likely. We're going to be doing it on campaign very hard, battle very hard, chaos invasion off, because I hate chaos. I just don't like dealing with the chaos invasion, because this is the time of the lizards. We're not going to deal with those chaos. And here we are in the mod screen. So let's just go over what I have in this campaign. Now I've kind of broken these up into three different categories. There is the first category, which is just like bug fixes, graphical changes, stuff that doesn't really affect the game. We have the second category, which are slight balance changes that I think improve the experience, and some things that I want to show off, such as some better siege stuff, which we'll get to in a moment here. And then the last one is, this just makes it easier for me as a YouTuber to create these videos and, make it so that the campaign doesn't last too long. Let's go through them and show off which ones are which. So, for example, like modding framework, we got the mod configuration tool, all of these bug fixes, better camera, progression mods, all that kind of stuff is just makes the game look better and run better. Like high resolution UI and such. Now, as a YouTuber, recruit defeated legendary lords. So that way, if we want to, we can get all of those extra, if somebody goes off and dies before I can go and recruit them and confederate their faction, I have no control over that. But I still want to use their legendary lord. So we're going to have it set up so if any of the other lizardmen guys die off, then we can go and grab their legendaries. Region trading, if you ever have that situation where, oh man, I could just complete this region, but my ally has the last portion and I don't want to attack my ally to get it. You just buy it off of them, which I think is completely fair. It requires that you have a decent amount of reputation between them, so it only really works between allies. No extra upkeep because the AI likes to spam out just like hundreds of armies, not literally, you know what I mean. And I think having the additional percentages as you add more armies just makes it really hard to compete with them. Tier 4 settlements for the miners. I really like this because it just makes the building metagame more flexible. Like, yeah, if you're playing this normally, you would only be able to go to tier 3, so there'd be a lot of, say, basic military structures and such that would still have to be in your main settlement in order to get to their highest tier. However, with this, we can put some of those into the secondary minor settlements, and we can actually have some more cooler stuff and flesh out our settlements a little bit better. Rebanner, because banners, like they say here, if you ever feel like you're wasting your time deciding which unit to put +5 leadership to, yeah, I always do. So this gives us actual cool banners that we can use. This is another one for me as a YouTuber, infinite character respects. Like, if I confederate with someone and all of their lords are absolutely built horribly because it's the AI, I want to be able to respec them, and that's just in there for that particular reason. I'm not going to respec my lords that I have because I'll build them how I want them, but this is just for if I confederate. Remember deployment formations. This one is amazing, so you can actually lay out your formation and then click save and then automatically reapply it based on the location of your lord. I wish I had this in my dwarf playthrough because it would have made it so much faster, not having to reposition my dwarf line every single time. Absolutely beautiful. More a realistic flight essentially makes it so that every single flying unit is really, really fast, which they're flying. They should be. A dragon flying through the air should be faster than a horse. So it is much faster. Well, this is be great if I'm going to use anything such as Ripperdactyls or all of the other lizardmen flying units. But then if I'm going to go up against stuff like the High Elves, their dragons and phoenixes are going to be coming after me at that same speed. So there's some compensation there. The enemy has this too. So while I'll be able to have really fast flanking flying units, I'll have to watch out for the enemy's really fast flying units. Traits Manager is great because it gives me a nice screen where I can essentially like Pokedex the enemy legendary lords and see what traits they will give me if I defeat them and turn those traits on and off. Now, I won't be using the turning the traits on and off, and also you can just add traits to your lords through this if you want to cheat. I won't be doing that. It'll just be essentially for that Pokedex of what the different lords give and who do I want to hunt down. And it just makes it so much easier to figure out, oh, so if I go after Wolfheart, he gives me, oh, this benefit. All right, I want to go after him without having to look to a Wikipedia article. Now, the two big ones here for sieges is Pierce Better Sieges, which is going to give us some great upgrades. Specifically, towers have less range at lower levels, but they have vastly wider firing arcs and less HP. So it makes it so that I'd run the shorter tower range mods in the past couple seasons because I thought that the tower range going well out beyond the deployment area is stupid. Like, especially when it's like a brand new save and you have just a bunch of basic infantry, give me a minute to organize myself before I start taking damage from towers. So that's what they've done here, but it's dynamic so that as the city rank goes up, so does the quality of the tower and the range of the tower. So that is excellent. I'm really going to enjoy that because it makes it so that, oh, a level 4 settlement has some really good artillery towers. A level 1 settlement, you just got some basic archer towers. But then walls and gates have more HP so that they're harder to get through. Siege equipment moves faster and much more useful. You can do all sorts of spells and units on walls. Rattling guns, yes, yes, which is great. So if I want to have my, my Lord Croak throw out some spells on top of a wall. There's some spells that don't work on walls. This makes it so they do. So I really enjoy this mod. And then the Reporting for Duty Garrison Upgrade, which is essentially taking it and revamping the entire garrison idea. Instead of it being primarily based on your settlement level and whether or not you build walls, that defensive structure, essentially every single military building and some of the infrastructure buildings gives you garrison of the particular type of that building. So realistically, if you build a minor settlement and you put in 3 military buildings into it, offloading them from your main settlement so that it can take more infrastructure buildings, that minor settlement might have just enough garrison that it doesn't need to build walls because it'll be getting a couple extra units from every single military building, which is cool. So hopefully this means that our garrisons are more diverse because they're different types. This particular settlement has regular barracks, so it's going to have more regular troops, while this other settlement has, like more stuff for skinks and more stuff for Ripperdactyls, so it has those troops, which would be appropriate because those are the troops that are training there. Those are the troops that would be part of the garrison. I really enjoy that. Adds a lot of flavor to the game. A max level 70 thing, essentially this is just to take away the max level. I probably will never reach sort of the typical max level of level 40, except on my main heroes and lords. But that just makes it so you know, as long as you're fighting, you'll get higher and higher levels, and also you could roll up and find an enemy lord that has been battling the entire time and is level 70, is sort of like a Doom, like, boss that we have to fight. And then, just for ease of use, the Great Power Penalty is there so that we can continue to do trade agreements and negotiations, even if we are a powerful entity, because I never really liked that, where my best ally in some campaign would dislike me because I'm strong. It's like, dude, you are my trusted ally. I would never turn on you. You should like it when I'm this strong. I can understand my enemies not liking it, but my allies not liking it, just takes away diplomatic routes. And then a higher replenishment mod, simply because it's really boring to end turns several times in a row just to replenish your units. And this makes it so that stuff should just flow faster with this campaign and be a little bit easier to record for YouTube. Let's take a look at the faction effects. We got the Right of Resilience, Unbreakable, and defense bonuses for my Saurus units, so all of my basic infantry. Starts the campaign with control of Lord Croak. Oh baby, that is important. Lord Croak is going to absolutely carry me for the beginning of this game. And probably actually for the entirety of the game, because he is one of the best spellcasters, period. Like, we're going to be fighting Skaven for the majority of the start of this. Let's just say if we're fighting Skaven and Lord Croak doesn't get 1,000 kills, then something has gone wrong. Because he's that good. He should get 1,000 kills himself. We also have +3 recruit rank for Saurus Scar veterans, which is excellent because Scar veterans are one of the best heroes in the game. And we got minus upkeep 20% for all Saurus units. So our basic infantry, which we'll be spamming at the beginning of the game, is going to be much cheaper for us to keep going, which is excellent. And if we stack all of our upkeep bonuses, I think we can get this down to like, what, minus 60-ish? So we can have a really cheap front line for the early and mid game if we want to, until we start getting into just pure dinos or like Temple Guardian and such. The Lord effect here has mainly just defensive stuff. We got melee defense +5 when in my own or friendly territory. So if I'm fighting on my own territory, I get additional melee defense for my entire army. Excellent. And we also get 20% physical resistance to the entire army, but only when we're defending against sieges, which is going to be very rare. So this one is probably not going to occur very often. But we'll just have to see how it goes. Our additional starting units, we have some Skink cohort with javelins, we got some Saurus warriors with shields and spears. Let's get it going.
Rise, great white lizard! The children of Itza are in need of your martial might, for the enemies of Lustria encroach upon sacred land. The Skaven of Pestilence lurk around Ashlotl, threatening to unleash a virulent attack upon your most important temple city, Itza. They must be exterminated. The twisted dark elf admiral known as Lokia Felhart has also landed on our shores, seeking to pillage holy sites. To the south is the baleful plague lord Skrolk. The Skaven are a common enemy of you and the dwarfs, but it remains to be seen whether the Dawi will march from the safety of their mountain holds. You are a creature wholly purposed for war, mighty one. War which you must bring to all invaders. For you are the rock upon which Itza's enemies shall be broken.
Alright, we are the rock on which the enemies shall be broken. That is excellent line. How they play the Itza. So the defenders of Itza, as we stand out like a lightning rod in the world of darkness, forging a bond of immeasurable strength between Gor-Rok and the venerable Lord Croak, defender of Itza. The great white lizard may perform the Right of Resilience to protect most of his ancient cities and its Saurus populace, while also calling upon the first of the Slann mage priest to fight alongside him from the beginning of the campaign. Hey! The geomatic web. Lizardmen settlements are linked by a powerful unseen network of energy spanning the world. By increasing its power within a province, a Lizardmen faction can increase the potency of any commandments issued there. And the blessed spawnlings, with the spawning pools of Lustria, occasionally bring forth especially gifted warriors that may be recruited once a special mission has been completed. And those blessed spawnlings are amazing. Instant recruitment, no matter where you are, as long as you're able to recruit. So they're very useful to save up and use in emergency situations where you need to make an army, like, out of nowhere. But here we are. Chapter objective issued. We want to occupy, loot, raise, or sack 4 different settlements. And let's just go take in where we are. So we're in the bottom left of the map here in the southern Great Jungle down in Lustria. As you saw there, the camera didn't have to pan very far. Skaven are right here. Fellheart's right here. There's High Elves here. Vampire Coast here. Other Lizardmen just to the north of us. There's the Human Expedition in this bay here. There is other Lizardmen up here. Dwarves in these mountains here. Like, it is a knife fight in this jungle to get any sort of space. So our first goal is to stab a bunch of rats. And that is going to be excellent. And I'm going to really enjoy it. We're going to get Axolotl here. But we can't do it this turn. We could. But we need to delay it for a turn. Because of a quest that we'll get on turn 2. I've played the campaign here up until about turn 50-ish. Just so I can get a feeling of what it's going to be like. And so the first few turns are actually very formulaic. And there is an essential best way to play them. But first off, we can start off with getting a upgrade to Itza here, which will get us to level 2, and some more garrison, and some more income from buildings and such. We can take Lord Croak and put him into Gor-Rok's army. Now we can replenish troops or train. Increase the replenishment of the parent army by 8%, or we get 30 experience per turn to units. Let's go with replenish. So that way we get more troops back after we've gone into combat. And we're going to go and fight this Skaven here. As soon as we take a look at our lords, because Gor-Rok is amazing. That's all you gotta say about him. He's a very powerful dude. So you have the standard, standard blue line. We've got movement speed, some public order untainted, all that kind of stuff. We can get up to lightning strike, which we'll be going for immediately so that we can lightning strike. But his unique things up here, his Mace of Ulamok, we have additional 50% armor piercing, plus 40 melee attack, plus 50% base weapon damage for 24 seconds. And it gives him 18% fizz resist. Like, whew, damn. That makes him a lord killer if he gets into a nice close range combat. The Shield of Aeon's unique 15 armor, 30% fire resist, as well as the ability to give everyone within 40 meters expert charge defense and 60 armor. So if the enemy's charging into our front line and Gor-Rok's standing there, he can just go like, yeah, we're good. We got a bunch of armor for the next 23 seconds. Honored Elder is amazing. And I'm very excited about it because it is also on Saurus Scar Veterans, the heroes, and this stacks. Public Order +1 all provinces. That's incredible. That's one of the best skills in the entire game because Public Order is always going to be an issue, especially if you're playing like Legendary. Because Public Order is such an issue, once you have like half a dozen or more Saurus Scar veterans and Gor-Rok, then they all have Honored Elder. You're just getting plus public order to every settlement. And that can solve your rebellion issues. Make everything positive in public order. So that's going to be an excellent skill to get. Beyond that, we have some other skills here that say give it even more upkeep reduction for Saurus infantry, depending on which one I want to go down. We have physical resistance and perfect vigor, melee defense and magic resist. We have melee defense for the entire army and physical resist for the entire army for Saurus units. Oh yeah. Constant is merely a flesh wound to the death. If I'm under 50% health, I just get stronger. Like regeneration, the Great White Lizard. Such good stuff. But then Lord Croakman, holy crap, Lord Croak is amazing. He has a shield that he can put down, which gives everyone 40% damage resistance with ward save. He gives ward save for the entire army. He'll have massive leadership aura effects, which basically make our guys like unbreakable with the amount of leadership they'll get. Public order to the local province, like research rate for the entire everything, like whole bunch of magical resistances, incredible winds of magic reserves. What else here? He gets regeneration. He gets massive fizz resist. The Deliverance of Itza 1, 2, and 3, amazing spells that will get him thousands of kills. He's got Greater Arcane Conduit, like just so much stuff. And every time he casts, just 9 seconds of fizz resist for the entire army. Just 11% damage resistance every time he casts something. So if he's just constantly casting stuff, just more resistances. Combining those two together, we're going to have some really, really durable lizards in this army. Especially if we add in a healing Slan Mage Priest, where we can heal our guys. Our guys won't die, and then we just heal them up after the battle while the enemy's running away, and we'll always kick ass. But here we go. Aw, they run away. That's because, well, we can't see it. This is a Skaven settlement. And when we attack these guys, the guys from the settlement are going to come out and join them. Wow, that balance of power, man. That balance of power. However, it's the first battle. I feel like we need to fight it. Just because it's the first battle. And I want to see what these guys can do on the field. Now, this will be great because we'll absolutely wreck their garrison, and then the next turn, it'll be really easy to take the settlement because their garrison will be pretty much dead. The bad part is they have a lot more numbers than we do. However, it's not going to really matter that much because every single group that we fight should be easy to take out. So we've got our infantry, our ranged, our hero, and our caster. And we can see here we've got the formation here. I had a formation I was playing with there. So say, for example, we've got 20 out of 30, so that's good. We'll start deployment. Say I wanted to make a formation. We're going to put Gor-Rok there. We want the guys here stretched out with spears on each side for the cavalry and swords in the center. Gor-Rok in the center. Croak behind him. And then Skink Cohort on the left. What I can do is then save that formation, move a portion of it, so I can say move these guys over there, and then reapply the formation, and they move back into position. I move Gor-Rok, I reapply formation. So that way, when I start a mission, I can just hit apply formation, start battle, and I'm good. I don't have to spend minutes fussing around. This has got to be like one of the best ever mods for the game. Okay, but we got these guys coming from this direction. We also got the garrison reinforcing here. So I'm tempted, what I can do here, then, is spin Gor-Rok around, apply that formation facing this way, and we can just go smashing into those guys before these Skaven get down to us. And we can try to rout these guys off the field. Because if we hit them hard enough, and if they are on the edge, they rout and run away immediately. Which will be excellent. So we'll start moving up. And as soon as they're on the field, attack. We'll keep you moving up, and we have all 3 of our spells here. It's just that they're not upgraded yet. And we'll definitely want to get these upgraded soon. But we can see the power of Itza as we are going to blow the frick out of these guys right here. Oh, added benefit. It doesn't need this at all, but this spell doesn't hurt my units. What? It doesn't hurt my guys? Look at that. My guys don't care. And these guys are just dead. And they're pushed off the field. And now my guys can go and collapse upon them. It's also got different levels. Each level is a different radius and power. So this is the lower one, but it is a fairly tight-in area here. So it should be fine to knock down some of these excess Skaven. Boom. Excellent. And these guys rout, which they should very quickly here. And we just rout them right off the field. And that means we can get all turned around and ready to fight those guys before the enemy gets to us. So we can reposition here. We're almost out of Javelin, but that is alright. These guys, Night Runners, they might come back. Yeah, they did. So we're going to have to sick somebody onto them. Croak might be able to bomb them one more time if Gor-Rok can get them to, get caught up. We might have to throw some skinks at it as well. But our main front line here needs to reposition and get ready to take on this enemy force now. How are those guys' speed? They're only 1 speed faster than my skinks. That is good to know. So they're running back to their forces there. Okay, that's fine. Gor-Rok can get out in front, so we can take the charge. Croak here, 232, and he doesn't even have any upgrades yet. He's just got the basic level of stuff. And are they coming in? How are they coming in here? Those Night Runners, man. I don't think I'm going to be able to actually catch them. It'll probably just be me getting the loss penalty. Send Croak to there. Yeah, those Night Runners are too fast for me to catch them. I just got to ignore them, and hopefully they, they will eventually rout once there is the enemy losses. And that's the best I can do. Get them all bunched up, and then we'll hit them with a spell here in a moment. I'll do the 13 one, right? Yeah, we'll do this one here. As soon as these guys push in and there's a bit of a better blob, then we'll pop the spell off. Right there. And explosion. There you go. That's how you get their get them to run. I would have sicked these guys on the Night Runners. They can't run forever. My skinks will run them down. So those guys are breaking. Gor-Rok is fighting their warlord here, which is excellent. Those guys can move up. A couple more points here and I can drop a deliverance. It's a 1 on these guys. Chase those guys down. Chase them down. Gotta chase them off the field here. And we're losing slightly there. So you guys can actually come around and flank. Come on, Croak. Get ready to shoot one more. Oh wait, you're still fighting the Lord. Shoot that one there. That'll clear up these rats. Okay, push them back far enough that way. You guys fall back. One of these guys break off and intercept. Those guys have broken. That is excellent. You guys are fine. You gotta take these guys back on again. Yeah, there we go. Now they're fighting off the Saurus warriors, which they'll lose very... They'll lose that decisively. You two Saurus, you can fit there. You guys are good here. That's it. Come on, Night Runners. You can't fight the Saurus. You'll fail. Skaven safe. You go after those guys. Excellent. You go up to there. Actually, no. We're gonna swing this way and get around these guys and squish them. Squish them in. Do a nice flank off on these guys. I don't care if I'm taking a little bit of missile fire, but that'll cause these guys to rout. These guys run away. I can run my forces back. Yeah, run those. Yeah, Night Riders are gone. And army losses. They're done. Game's over. Excellent. First victory. Lost some of my forces, but that's fine. I vastly weakened their forces. And that's all that really needs to happen. End the battle. The first victory of the playthrough. Ah, look at that Croak, man. 377 kills. We can also see the damage dealt, 29,000, and the damage value, which is 820 gold's worth. So we can compare that against the rest of them to see which unit did their weight, which even while the... we'll take a look at that after we get out of this loading screen, because it's not working anymore. But we can see which unit, while maybe it didn't do many kills, it did really valuable kills. So, for example, we only got 66 kills here. However, we did 5,323 damage for a value of 292. So, our value, even though it was way less kills, was more than this Saurus warrior here. These guys only did 274 damage value. Way less than here, but got easily more than double the damage dealt. So as they were just doing it to slaves and shit, which are useless. Where these guys were hitting higher value targets, like the Night Runners. It's excellent. We can replenish by 10%, we can get some experience, or we can get some treasury. I think we'll replenish a bit, and we got a banner. Missile resistance and fizz resistance. So just tank. We'll probably just put that on Gor-Rok for now. Just make him more tank. We revealed the clan pestilence is there, and we gained a banner. The enemy died. Oh, excellent. Now, we could take this right now, but we're not going to. We're going to encircle it, and we'll just wait there. Because next turn here, we're going to get a skill. No, not a skill, a quest. Gor-Rok, we want Root Merger, so we can go straight to Lightning Strike, because it is super important. And Lord Croak, we want to start going down as Deliverance of Itza. We want to get to Deliverance of Itza 3, which is like, so 1 level, 2 levels, and then 3 levels to get the fully unlocked Deliverance of Itza 3, so that we get the Winds of Magic cost -6 on it, which will allow us to cast number 3 way more often, which is what we need for the Skaven here. So, end of the turn. That's everything we can do for turn 1. And later on, when these take longer, I will cut some of them out, the end of turn screens. But they also did some pretty good changes to improve the speed of the end of turns, which makes them not too long. And then here's the quest. The Mace of Ulamok raise or sack 3 different settlements belonging to the Skaven, and we get the Mace of Ulamog. Now the important thing here is it's raising or sacking. When we attack this place here, and we can just auto-resolve it, we can't occupy or loot and occupy. We have to sack or raise it, which I think is really, really annoying. I would love to have it so that it's like sack or loot and occupy, because I want to occupy this place, but I don't want to sack it then come back and occupy it. But that's what I have to do for the quest. It's unintuitive, but it's there, so I have to sack it. And that gives me the current total 1. And I can't re-sack this because it's 3 different settlements. So I gotta sack this place, and then this place here to get my mace. That is the plan. Now we can go back here and we just occupy it. It is now ours. But now we have to repair this. And that costs all the money that we got from sacking, which then makes the sacking useless. And it's just like, oh, why did we do that in the first place? Now, we should get this resource in. It'll get us 405 gold, which is useful. What about this? This only gives us 243. Yeah, so 405 gold per turn is amazing. That'll be done in 3 turns. And here, you don't need timbered yet. We'll get that later. What we need is growth, and also unlock some technologies for us, so we can start researching some tech. In the meantime, we can grab some Saurus warriors. So I'm thinking just regular warriors, because we compare them. The Saurus warriors with spears have less attack, more defense, but they also have less weapon strength and less charge bonus. They do have anti-large, but we're fighting Skaven, and they're not large. So at the moment, the Saurus warriors will be a better choice. We can also just go with like skink cohorts. But the Saurus are just so vastly better in terms of all of their stats, especially their weapon strength. While the skink cohorts are cheaper, I don't think they're worth it at this point. Maybe to get some more javelin. Maybe we'll get like another, say, 3 javelins to be a total of 4 out of my 20. But that'll probably be it. So we'll grab those guys there. We've got some more skill points to assign. Let's see. For Croak, I know it's Deliverance of Itza 2. That's easy. For Gor-Rok, we've got Public Order, Untainted, Recruitment Cost, and Ambush Success. In the long term, Ambush Success will probably be the most useful, because Public Order and Untainted can be figured out through other sources. Recruitment Cost doesn't matter once you have a really good economy going, and then the only thing you can get that will always be beneficial at the same quality would be Ambush Success. So we'll go with that. So we'll get Ancient Cunning down to plus 30%. Then we'll probably grab like a point to Public Order, and then we'll go Draftmaster, Lightning Strike. So that's pretty much it for that. And end the turn again. And it's always useful when you're ending the turn to watch these go by here, so you can get an idea of the balance of power between them. And you know, if you look at it and your main enemy has a huge balance of power, but you don't see where their armies are, you should be a little scared. But if the enemy comes by and it's your main enemy and it's a really bad balance of power for them, then you're probably fine to be a little aggressive and say, push out to another area. Another 3 Saurus warriors, and we have some research available. We can start getting recruitment cost for skinks down. It's not the most important thing, but we need to build different buildings to get access to each one of these, and it just gets us doing something for the next 15 turns, where we can then, once these places level up, build one of those buildings to get access to the next bit of research. But at this point, this campaign is very formulaic. We're just recruiting as we're heading south. Maybe stay within our territory for one more turn here. Go right to the edge and we can see what we can see. Yeah. So there's the settlement there. We're not going to be able to get to it in this movement, but next movement we should be able to. We only have 1,400, so we won't be able to get a full thing of Saurus warriors, because we won't be able to get one. So we could get 3 javelins. So we have a nice line of warriors, and then 4 javelins to add a little bit of firepower, and then these skinks with their 46 speed can chase down some fleeing units. -7 for public order, which sucks because of the corruption and the difficulty level, but that's just how it is. That's just what we gotta do. We gotta get down to this place and secure it so we can get the whole area here to ourselves. And there's an enemy army there. Let's see how big that army is, whether or not I can auto-resolve the next fight. They want military action. They offer money. Okay. The spine of Sotek dwarves, I will eventually wipe off the planet, because anything that isn't a lizardman is going to die in this campaign. But at the moment, I do not want to have to fight them, so I'm just going to leave them alone. And this guy's army, oh, it's Lord Scroke. Oh god, it's Lord Gor-Rok. Okay. Do I recruit some more? I have 1,100. If I recruit cohorts, I could get 3 more cohorts before I go in to fight him, or I could not let him recruit and I can fight him now. He only has 13, while I have 16. I have Croak, but he's got a Plague Claw catapult. Important is that that's his starting Plague Claw. He starts with that. So he does actually not have the ability to make more. So if I knock that Plague Claw out this time, he can't come back at me with more Plague Claws for several more turns. So that's good. So I think we attack. Oof. Oh yeah. There's the garrison with all of its bullshit. There is Lord Scroke. There is... like, okay, this is an army. There's the garrison, and there's Lord Scroke. There is a bunch there. However, the balance of power is okay. And what kind of battlefield are we on? I'm going to encircle. I do not like that battlefield, and I want them to come to me, which I thoroughly believe that they will. The start of next turn, they will come out and they will attack me. But we also got Itza here leveled up, so we can put in some more buildings. At the moment, we just need infrastructure. Like, that is the most important thing possible. So we're just going to go for food, and we'll get... actually, we'll go with money first, and then next turn we'll grab some food in there. We just need to push. If your army failed to spot an enemy ambush, they have launched a surprise attack, giving them the upper hand. We are being ambushed against what is most likely that entire force. So there was that full stack, there was the Lord Scroke stack, and there was the reinforcements from the garrison. And they're ambushing us. But is that enough to defeat us? Well, we're going to find out in the next episode. This is just the beginning of our Lizardman adventures here. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow cold-blooded ones. Is that a good way to end it off? Is that a good sign out for this series? Let me know what you think would be a good sign out for the series would be. A sign off. But thanks for watching.